Yo, what's going on, everyone? Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and today we're checking out Superman for the arcade.
Released in 1988, this was developed and published by Taito. Came out for the arcades as an exclusive. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up slash shoot-em-up, and it stars Superman. Let's get into it. Honestly, the graphics are pretty good for this game. They're bright, they're colorful, the sprites are pretty damn well detailed, the animations are okay. There's not a lot to hate about this game. Not really a lot to say either, but it looks perfectly fine. The backgrounds are, pretty varied. You go to different locales and they all look different. If we had to complain, really the biggest fault in this game is that the enemies are really not that varied. Like a lot of these Superman games, you kind of fight the same enemies again and again. But besides that, it's not a bad package. We both gave it 7s. And as far as beers go, I'm a little thirsty, so let's get the buzz started with one beer. The sound. Holy shit, a recognizable tune! Yes, you do have the John Williams theme from the movie. And you know what? I mean, it's 1988 and there's probably better arcade sound chips out there, but it isn't terrible. Eventually you get some original tunes, but for the first couple levels, the Superman theme and another song from the movie kind of loop over and over, so that can get a little annoying. And the sound effects, I mean, they're there, but they're really simple and they don't really do anything to enhance the game, but they don't exactly take away from it either. Overall, it's slightly above average, and we reflected in that scores because we both gave it 6s. And as far as beers go, you know what, I'll give it one happy beer for having the Superman theme in it.
Similar to the other Superman games thus far, this is a really simplistic control scheme because you have a punch, a kick, and your flying is just hitting the up button. So you're really just working with 3 buttons if you count the D-pad or joystick, whatever the hell you're using. But anyway, the biggest complaints Jim and I had was that sometimes it would feel really stiff. For example, if you're going down to pick up a barrel or a box, you have to be flush on the floor, and getting Superman all the way down can be slightly annoying. Not to mention this goddamn goofy-ass power he does. We don't even know what this is. He shoots a diamond. You stay completely still when you shoot it. It would have been much better if you could fly and shoot at the same time. Putting those aside, there wasn't anything else to really complain about, so as you see, we both gave it 6s. It's above average, mostly because it's so goddamn simplistic, and as far as beer, I'll add 2 just because of our 2 minor complaints. The gameplay. Well, I covered a decent amount of it already in Control, so I'll try and keep this quick. You have 2 level variations. You have a beat 'em up and a shoot 'em up, and that's pretty much it. It's something we've seen from Superman time and time again, but this is just supposed to be a quarter munching game that's really, really tough. And as you'll hear about later, that is one thing this game would be ruthless if we were paying quarters. I mean, I must have at least gone through 16, 17 lives trying to beat this game. Now granted, I didn't have no fear of dying, but still, as you see, you just go from left to right, punch, kick, and in flying levels, you shoot laser eyes. So it's so goddamn bare bones and average, we both had to give it a 5. There's nothing really wrong with it, but we felt it offered absolutely nothing new. And just like the other Superman games, where the hell are the rest of his powers? What the fuck? I'm gonna add 2 beers, just because this is another game that's a missed opportunity for Superman.
Alright, originality. There's a few things here. For one, the enemy types are kind of unique in the whole Superman mythos to just this game. Also, having a true flying mechanic is kind of a first in this game. And yes, I know you can fly in Atari, but I mean in a game that's actually playable. Yep, got him. Also, it's kind of the first true beat-em-up for a Superman game. So, I guess it gets points there. And also, for some reason, he has that power glowy fist energy ball move, which I've never seen Superman have before or since. Okay, look, it's obviously didn't have the biggest idea of what they were using, but it still works as a Superman game. We both gave it 5s. I mean, it has enough original ideas. As far as beers go, I'll add 2 beers. 1 for being a beat-em-up, and 2 for the glowy, throwy fist power. Yeah.
I don't want to waste too much time with the replayability because I mentioned already earlier how goddamn hard this game is. But I will say, some things that make it a little harder are enemies like this that shoot the goddamn web on you. It's just unrelenting, and your life goes down so fast. If you beat it once, though, you probably don't need to see that pretty ending screen again. So, keeping in mind how we've scored the other Superman games, we both gave it 3s. I'll add 1 beer just because this is what you always kind of expected out of arcade games. So overall, since this is the only standalone Superman arcade game in the US, we didn't want to hate on this too much. It's an arcade beat 'em up at a time when the market was flooded with them. So they threw some ideas in here. They still missed the ball pretty big on the franchise, but hey, it looks goddamn good. Music actually is from the movie, so that can kind of get you into it. So we tried to be fair with our scores, and as you see, we both gave it 5s. It's nothing we would run away from like some of the other Superman games, but we certainly won't be picking this up again. We can appreciate what they tried, but they kind of just fucked up at the end. So when we combined all of our scores, it rounds out to a 5.3. That's fair because with the music and the graphics, it does elevate it above average. But let's be frank, that is the only reason it's slightly above average. If you're a diehard arcade or Superman fan, it might be worth downloading and playing on your main. When it comes to beer pairing, we're gonna stick with our old adage that beat 'em ups should have something easy to drink. So we're gonna specifically go with the Troegs Nugget Nectar. This is an amber ale and highly regarded as one of the best in the USA. But just like this beat 'em up, it's simple, straight to the point, and it'll get the job done. So remember to drink your beers and play your games responsibly. As always, guys, thanks for checking out this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you give us a thumbs up, leave some comments, or better yet, why not subscribe? Till next time, guys, cheers.